vinyl. Whoa, what's this? That's the live B-side of this band. It's a reprint, but you want to see something really rare? I don't even know what it is. It had no label on it. Check this out. Oh my God, it's purple. You don't see purple. No, purple's rare. Purple vinyl is just, they didn't make that very often. I don't know what it is. I could give you some hints, but let me just put it on. Let me put it on here. It's very rare. No idea what this shit is. Here you go. Follow the train tracks under the bridge, among the broken planks and bent rusty nails, lies a buried, moldy old cigar box you can dig out with your nails. Dude, that sent shivers up my spine. I don't know what the hell that was. That was crazy. Yeah, it's like a ghost just passed through the room. I don't know what it was. It sounded like it was recorded in a car. Very weird stuff. You want to blow farts through a hose at each other now? Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Wow. Oh my gosh. Let me just turn this down a little bit. Yeah, now we're talking. On the move. Literally. Getting off the freeway, moving, grooving, flowing. Checking all my bags in the overhead compartments and getting it all, buckled in for the big long flight known as On the Move. God, speaking of On the Move, I wouldn't mind sitting on the toilet right now making a big On the Movement. Oh man, I need a little prune juice today. Prune juice. Hanging out with my buddy Danilo, Ukrainian chap. He and I are partnering up making a music video, and he taught me how to say prune juice in Ukrainian, and I'm totally forgetting it. It's like sleeve, something like that. And then to remember it, I thought of a sleeve turning inside out, which is what prunes kind of do to your asshole. Anyway, little tricks, to remember words, just helping you guys out with. That's what I'm just an open book, I'm Dr. Helpful on the mic, you know what I mean? Anyways, just saw a movie with Danilo and my buddy Chachi. We watched The Invite. Olivia Wilde, Ed Norton, Penelope Cruz, and Seth Rogen. It's like a little apartment drama, like couples, kind of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf inspired. It was based on a play. I think this is the 4th or 5th movie version of this. Olivia Wilde directed the fuck out of it. It's San Francisco, a city that's so photogenic, but it takes place in one of those San Francisco, like, Edwardian apartment buildings, with really solid bones. And it's got that sort of sexual dysfunctional relationship drama. It's a small little indie A24 type movie, and it's shot on film. They shot it on real film. You can tell it has a bit of grain, and it has that painterly quality to it that you get. And they really, whoever shot it, I think it was the DP that does that show with Seth called The Studio or The Industry or something like that. So it's a lot of, I think, lighting or room so that actors can have the freedom to sort of be able to improv. And I think there was a lot of Steadicam work, but it's so beautiful. There's this sort of cello soundtrack where it's these emotional, intense scenes get accented with this really riveting soundtrack that just drives through your body. You can really feel the tension and the release. Like, I was laughing and like holding my spine tight. It was intense. It was I really got into the characters. I really felt like I was in there with them, feeling what they were feeling. The performances were just sublime. And I was really in the mood for that kind of movie. I needed to see an adult, like a little indie adult drama film on a big screen with the sound and the... American theaters nowadays cater to American bodies, and the seats are big and wide now. So you're not, elbow to elbow with your neighbor, feeling like you're stuck in some, you're stuck in coach, in the back of the plane, fucking bumping along. God, those old movie theater seats felt like they were digging into your ribs and just torturing, like, how many people can we squeeze into a movie? Well, now they charge a little more, and they let you kind of spread out. There was nobody next to me to the left, and I just put all my bags and phone and like I unpacked, and I always sneak food in, and so I put it in a little bag over my shoulder. I called them the man purse. And you put some loose sort of stuff over your food. Oh my God, I had the best food too. I had my favorite dark chocolate, like with sea salt, and Sprouts makes this popcorn with coconut oil and Himalayan pink salt. It's the fucking best popcorn. I'm sorry, just bar none. It's so good. It's just a classic popcorn flavor, but it's organic, and I'm so pinky out, frou-frou about my snacks. And then I brought a cherry vanilla Olipop. Fuck yeah, I was living, and I was, like, I'd eat popcorn for a while and then go, like, just sit, and then go, oh, a little bite of chocolate would be nice right now. And I'm totally that guy that makes a lot of noise. Like, kind of the movie started to quiet down, and I'm digging in the... I'm sure the people are a couple rows back. We're like, fuck you. But, you get into it. You get into the bag. You get into the movie. And you get into the... I love experiencing movies in groups. And I was the guy that was making the big fucking laughter. And as soon as I stood up at the end of the movie, I was like, oh my God, let's have an orgy. Who cares? Let's go fuck some strangers. Spoiler alert. Anyway, it was funny. It was funny to see, you know, intimate, vulnerable adults in a well-crafted, well-edited, and well-acted film. Oh my God, it was great. Apparently, Ed Norton had a big monologue that Olivia Wilde let him kind of write himself, and nobody knew what he was going to say until he actually uttered it out loud. And all of the other characters responded. It was total improv, the way they responded to what he was saying. And I just thought it was beautiful. There's so many cathartic moments in that film and at the very end, I just couldn't help myself. I just started weeping. Like, my eyes just started leaking tears. It was so beautiful. And the framing was so cool. They sort of frame a lot of shots, like through doorways and into mirrors and through windows, and you feel like characters are either separated by thresholds or doorways, or like the architecture of the space was really well defined and utilized and super helpful in the composition of the frame. It was really well constructed. Kudos to Olivia Wilde. She's a badass director, and she's a fantastic actor. She got a little intense and a little loud, but I think it was her space, and she was entitled to that. I didn't feel like it hurt her performance at all. I just thought that I could have felt her restraint more. I think that was an important component to the character, just feeling a little bit more bottled up. But yeah. Penelope Cruz, my God, she rocked it. Anyway, it's a great film, and it's not an easy film, but it's really cathartic and I think really valuable this day and age to see little indie films like that out in the theater, because it's so immersive that way. You know, it gets in your bones. It really fucking squeezes a lot of feelings out. Whereas if you see it on your phone or on a laptop or some tiny little TV at home, it's just whatever. You can kind of check out. This is something to reckon with when it's right there. What else is going down? Yeah, I'm excited. We're starting our little pre-light for this music video, Danilo and I. Danilo mostly has art directed, production designed this beautiful space. And me and Matt are going to start pre-lighting next week. And we're not on any real strong timeline because we're still waiting on the puppet, which is probably a couple weeks away. So it's a chance to kind of like luxuriate and without any Big Brother energy, just find tasty angles and test some camera moves and play with light and kind of, you know, paint a real scene. You know, what do we want? How rich do we want this scene to be, and how are we going to create that? It's the first second and third shot of this music video. The first one we have to build a separate set for, but it's nice to shoot in order, and I'm excited. Anyway, that's the latest. I just finished shooting a little thing for Donald Faison. Or is it Faison? Donald's cool. I dig him. He is the second half of Scrubs, the TV show, the comedy, that he and Zach Braff and Sarah, I forget her name. They're such a funny triad. They work so well together. It's such a cute show. It's really funny, heartwarming, and cute, witty humor. They're the executive producers and actors, and I think they help write the episodes too. So it's a cool little family of people to. I had never worked with Donald before, and I helped him shoot something for that show. Not at liberty to say exactly what, but it was cool. I got to work with Elder Sun, badass DP here in LA, and Jennifer Hogan, who made some kick-ass puppets in a very little amount of time. She made like 12 characters. It was incredible, and they look great on set. A set that Page, God, what is Page's last name? I'm not forgetting, but he built. And it matches. It's gorgeous. It really matches what it needs to match, and looked so great and authentic on set. And Elder did a fantastic job lighting it, designing this Moko move that was sort of threading the needle a little. It was very technical, and that was fun. I hope to work with those guys again soon. I'm just rolling off kind of a series of really cool gigs, and I'm looking at finally having a little break. You know, I always like to work, but it's nice to get a break and then go back to this music video, which I'm so excited to be doing, and it's nice to have a project like that I'm like, it's kind of like a personal project, but it's for somebody else, and so it gives me an opportunity to sort of stretch my wings a little creatively. You know, I storyboarded it, I'm directing it, I'm able to play with the fetishes that I have, which is, you know, like I'm going to play a little bit with frame rates, I'm going to play a little bit with depth of field and textures and movement. I want to try different shit with movement, challenge myself to. I was working with Ethan Merrick on a gig over at Concrete Media, and he just has such a supple touch, and I was inspired to kind of try to work really clean and do more kind of intimate, slower, kind of subtler stuff if I can. Working with wire, which is always kind of a tough for me to get there. It's hard to me to craft little increments with wire, but it's so intuitive and lightweight and fun, and it does respond. I think of Justin Rosh with wire because he loves it so much, and wire can move in any direction. It's very intuitive, and once you get the hang of it, it does have this very predictable personality that I do kind of love. I do love it. You know, you bend it too far and then you bring it back, right? That's the springy nature of wire armatures. But sometimes it's impossible to get it back because it's just too organic. Whereas, you know, ball and socket can feel very much like a robotic, like you can really get technical with it. Like, I am bending you here now. Rotate this way here. Pivot here. You know, when you're lucky. When it's not binding up on you, or, you know, set a little too loose to deal with the clothing or whatever it is. But here we go. into the weeds with my technical bullshit. Much love.